What's up, y'all? AP here, and it's been a minute since I've just candidly had a chat online and meditated. It's been a minute since I've meditated with y'all. And today I woke up with a chaotic mind, and I was thinking about that and how a lot of times when people describe my demeanor, they describe me as very calm and cool and chill. And while that is true most of the time, I think sometimes being calm can be a defense mechanism to having a chaotic mind. And when I say chaotic mind, I just mean being an overthinker, kind of living in your head more often than not. Being a visual artist, a lot of my creative process starts internally. And while that is a beautiful skill to have, I can get stuck in my mind. And I think because of how much I've had going on externally, things that I'm not able to really control or change, I've definitely been having more internal chaos. It really impacts me during the beginning of the day. And, I know people who are going through shit that wake up bright eyed and bushy tailed. I know people who can't sleep. Stress and uncertainty and chaos can impact everyone differently. But for me, it shows up in the beginning of the day, and it can be hard for me to push past that point. I know what steps I need to take to do that, but every day can't be perfect. So on days like today, where it's harder for me to get going, I know that I need to do extra work to clear my mind and to bring my mind and body back to a balanced state. So I just wanted to guide y'all through a meditation. I wanted to name it first. I wanted to name it. I wanted to name what's going on with me, why I chose to meditate in the first place. Obviously, it was a part of my training, becoming a yoga instructor. Meditation and yoga kind of go hand in hand. My real reason for continuing to integrate meditation into my life is because I have a specific example. I was going through a really tough time last year, having to make some really heavy decisions regarding my lifestyle. And I knew those decisions were coming. I knew the time was coming up for me to solidify my decisions. And I simultaneously was working a new job that I didn't want to work, but at that time it felt like something I needed to do. So I started the job, and a part of starting the job, there's like a new hire process, etc. And I wanted to use that as an opportunity to be my best self. So I was cooking meals at home, I was juicing, I was doing all the things, but again, my mind is the most chaotic in the morning. So I was still experiencing this morning chaos, which is really just your body having high cortisol levels because you're just waking up. It's scientific, it makes sense, but it's not my favorite thing to experience when I'm already in a state of stress. So I was in a state of stress. I was still having these struggles despite doing what I could to live a healthy lifestyle. And I had a friend who was hosting a meditation group, and it was like 5:30, 6 a.m. every day for 20 to 30 days. We were waking up and meditating. And at first I was like, this is not it. Like, when I tell you I was rolling out of bed, moving to my couch, blanket on, trying to meditate, falling asleep during the meditation. If she's watching this, just know I was going through it. Falling asleep during the meditation, like I wasn't able to truly tap in for the first few sessions. And then as I became more consistent, as I started integrating my lifestyle choices into the meditation, like, okay, I'm going to bring a juice, or I'm going to make tea before we meditate, so that I had something to get me going, to get my day started. And then immediately after the meditation, going outside, getting some vitamin D, touching grass. It changed my life. It changed my perspective. But most importantly, it changed that resistance that I feel in the morning time. And it turned into something very beautiful, where I was calm in the morning, and I was clear-minded, and I had clarity, and I had this semblance of motivation, and I didn't need an external resource. I didn't need coffee. I didn't need to smoke something. I didn't need a stimulant to get my day going. It was all internal. And I've struggled to reintegrate that habit back into my life, but I know it's something I know, like, you know, we all have intuition, and this is something that I know I need to integrate into my life to change. Unfortunately, I've experienced a high level of stress over the past year, over the past 6 months. These changes have exacerbated my morning struggles, and instead of sitting back and watching my coping mechanisms diminish and crumble, I decided to take control. And that's a part of why I'm doing, in my last video I mentioned I'm doing a discipline challenge. That's why I'm trying my best to work on my discipline, because I understand that when you go through certain things change, shit changes. It would be disempowering for me to not honor my body where it is, because my body has sustained me despite going through struggles. Now I kind of need to help it get back to its regular state and get back to a functional state again. So that's just my testimony. That's just my story. That's why I meditate. That's why I know I get on here, and I'm not sure how many people follow along. I'm not sure how many people are interested in meditation and sitting with themselves. But I get on here and I make these videos because over time, these practices have changed my life, and I just want to figure out a way to take what I've learned and help others do the same. It's not to say I'm perfect. Like I said, I'm dealing with my own struggles at this current moment. But that's why these tools are so important, because they are there to utilize in moments where you need help coming back to yourself. So we'll guide through a meditation. I just want you to think about, before we go into meditation, a time of day where you are really needing to relax your mind and to get out of your head and to bring your body back to a balanced state. And that is where I suggest you start when it comes to meditating, to choose that time of day, whether it's midday, morning, night, before you go to bed, whatever that looks like for you. You really only need 3 to 5 minutes to meditate. You can meditate in 1 minute if you'd like. It doesn't have to be anything strenuous. It's not even about silencing your mind. It's more so about stillness in the body, and eventually it'll translate in the mind. It takes a minute to really get into a meditation, but there's always a place to start. So hopefully this encourages you to start. You are someone like me, and you're just trying to aim to do better and to improve and to overcome what comes with living this life. Life is not perfect. Life comes with its trials and tribulations, and we all have to learn how to cope. So as you learn how to meditate, as I guide you through these meditations, you learn how to cope with your own troubles, and you understand that you have this tool in your back pocket whenever you need it. Okay. It was way too hot and it was spilling on me, and it was a very chaotic tea. Yeah. Go ahead and take a moment to get comfortable, get in a comfortable seat, and we'll start in just a moment. So if you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you for being willing and open to join me for a meditation. That's the first step, is showing up, and honestly, your body does the work from there. In today's meditation, I would like you to visualize, but when you close your eyes, I want you to think about your ideal life. From the beginning of the day to the end of the day, I want you to think about what throughout your day-to-day life you can do to bring yourself joy, to bring yourself fulfillment, to feel content, to feel at peace. And I want you to think about the details of that day. How you brush your teeth, what you do to your hair, how you pick out your clothes, how you go about your day-to-day tasks, what energy you come home in, what you do when you come home. I want you to really dig deep into that. It's for us to connect on a deeper level with our higher selves, because whatever you envision is essentially your higher self. It's your higher life. It's your higher timeline. And the only thing separating you from that timeline is a decision. So I think sometimes in order to make a choice, we need to see what our options are. So this meditation is an effort to help you see what your lifestyle could become if you make different decisions. So when you're ready, we'll close our eyes and we'll start our visualization. Before we start visualizing, I want you to start with some deep breaths, inhaling through your nose, exhale through the mouth. Repeat. Again. Three more times at your own pace. And on your final exhale, I want you to return to your normal breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, or in through the nose and out through the nose, whatever is calling to you. And we will begin our visualization of our higher selves. Again, visualizing from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, what your life would look like. Every minor detail. If you were living in your best timeline, if you were living as your best self, if you were living a life that brought you complete and utter happiness, joy, contentment, peace, what would that look like? We'll sit in silence now, and I want you to visualize that for yourself while breathing at your own pace. with that visualization, I want you to think about your why. Why would that life? Why would those day-to-day steps bring you a higher level of peace, contentment, and joy? Next, I have a harder question. What is stopping you from living that life today? What is physically in your way? If you're somewhat like me and your answer is yourself, you are physically stopping you from getting to where you want to be, then I ask, what are you going to do to change that? And I want you to sit with that thought for a moment, continuing to breathe. With your eyes closed, I just advise you to listen to my voice at this time. Fear is as big and important as we allow it to be. When we give it attention, it's loud, it's boisterous, it's in your face. But when we move past that feeling of uncertainty, of self-doubt, of fear, we allow beautiful mistakes, missteps, experiences to transpire on their own for the greater good. A lot of times when we hold ourselves back from something that we know is good, is beneficial, will result in growth, it is due to that underlying fear of the unknown. Today, I hope this meditation helped you see what your life could look like if you chose to move past that feeling and you decided that that lifestyle that you envisioned, that higher timeline, your higher self, are deserving of walking through the unknown to achieve that. That space, that situation, those circumstances are only in your mind. it's only something you can visualize because it's something you can achieve. And maybe for some, that starts with quieting the body and mind long enough to hear or to see what you've been too distracted to see. Continue to breathe. Honor your body right now in this relaxed state, and understand that you can always come back here. And when you're ready, we'll open our eyes. And just come into your sense of self. Become present in your body again. We can end with some neck stretching because I feel like I carry a lot of my tension in the shoulders. So we're going to take your left hand and place it on top of your head. And then you take your right shoulder and you'll release. Hold here. Continuing to breathe. And we'll repeat on the opposite side, taking your right hand, releasing the left shoulder down. Hold. And then we can do some neck circles going in both directions. You'll want to repeat in the opposite direction as well. You can shake your head yes and no. And we can do 3 inhales together to close out our practice today. On our final exhale, we'll seal our practice in with the Om. For those of you who don't know, that's Om or Om. However you would like to do that. Again, 3 breaths. On the last breath, we will Om together. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see y'all next time, and hopefully my next video is my extended yoga practice. Should be out by this upcoming Monday at 12. I apologize, my uploads this week were late, so I'm giving y'all 2 uploads this week, and on Monday, look out for the extended yoga video. Subscribe, like, comment. Anything you'd like me to film for you next, anything you'd like to see, make sure you like the video. And if you're looking to keep up with me, looking to see more videos like this or anything else that I post on this page, again, this page is about finding our whimsy again. So if that's something that interests you, then I suggest you subscribe. See you next time. Bye.